The subject of today's video will be peace. Recently, I just stumbled through social media, right? And I came across a post from one's very own Will Smith, all right? And he was saying that happiness and peace should coincide, but our society values the pleasure and the stimulus of happiness and regard it as if it is the whole thing. Too often, we allow boredom or lack of problems to let us undermine the happiness at which it brings, allowing our minds to create some type of strange representation of our constant need for problems. Being a member of this younger generation, I am no exception to this trend. We all provide ourselves with this attention in a very weird way. We value shorthand entertainment far too much. The most prevalent thing that is taking away from our natural flow of creativity is our cell phones, social media, all of the above. And it's not even just phones. I mean, it's kind of like electronics or things that provide entertainment that aren't brought from our own consciousness and thought. Things like tablets, computers, television. Since a very young age, non-direct stimulation is something that we strive for almost naturally. Things that are not actually occurring in our own experience. In other words, the experience of other people. Television is also a major contributor to our constant need of quick entertainment. In this modern day and age, television is almost at our fingertips. It's that easy. Get a Netflix subscription. All right? You can watch the whole show and more. Now, is this easily attainable television always an issue? I think not. While television does take away from life, oftentimes the plot displayed in these shows or movies that we are watching does stimulate us in a way that we actually have to use our natural curiosity in order to draw conclusions and solve the problems within the television show or movie, right? When we're watching these shows, it's not as if the resolution comes in 30 seconds. We have to wait for it. It builds up. It tests our patience. Like plot twists or other things used to gain the attention of the viewer once and always or once again. The true negative culprit to our cause today is social media. Things like TikTok, per se, or Vine back in the day. These short little blips where we get the entire story in a matter of seconds have somewhat imprinted in our mind and taught us to gain our entertainment and value in a short amount of time. This is pushing out a consensus that we need some type of immediate gratification in our lives. What are we working towards? What's our goal? What are we doing? It's all part of the question. And with these taught shorter attention spans, our interactions with the real world are going to be shorter as well. Conversations in relationships where you can almost talk about nothing and do nothing seem meaningless. And we have a strange fast track system of value. We always believe that something must be gained in order to have real value, right? Correct. And we have been taught that in our relationships, we must always be getting something from it in order for it to be healthy, in order for it to be sustained. And it is this notion that something must always be gained that is stripping away the happiness in our lives. The peace, this great word that is often used to describe a joyous feeling, is often never attained. And you know why? It's because we view not having any problems or not having any direct issue or stimulus as a problem rather than enjoying the peace. In a world like ours, for happiness in this constant burst of pleasure and stimulus, we would need to have the same negative counterpart in order for that to actually exist. Meaning that just as good as things get in our lives, we would also have to get the absolute worst in order to put it into perspective. And I feel like oftentimes people are on a streak and they get good event after good event and their life is pretty good. And they look for these tiny negative things in their life in order to coddle their problem solving brain that has been around since caveman era. In order to be happy, you have to know what it feels like to be unhappy, right? But peace is not the same. Peace is the absence of problem. Yet we kick it to the curb. I think that some of us, who will not be named, just don't want peace. They want problems. No great man is going to grow or change in an environment where they're not constantly being challenged or have any type of immediate issue that they have to solve. And that's acceptable. However, it can also be said that those who constantly are saying that they want this solution to their issue, that they don't know what they're going to be like without these direct problems. And I feel like sometimes we identify ourselves too much with our issues as if they are constantly a part of ourselves rather than some mysterious event that happens. Pressure creates diamonds. Sometimes we just need that extra push, or we need to see the goal, or something needs to happen to put our lives into a perspective at which we can actually grow from. We make the mistake of saying that we crave peace in an area of war. We ourselves are the ones drinking the poison that we are trying to find the antidote from. Peace is a fun ideal, but due to the way that we must maintain some sort of social environment, peace in a real sense is very hard to come by. This social entertainment is ruining our chances of appreciating times at which peace is abundant. And us being in a generation where no major problems or issues have readily presented themselves, I feel as if we, in a way, have no gauge of what war or what hard times are truly like. So we as a group don't have that kind of high bar set for bad days. And due to this, many of us, many of us, many of us choose to attach other perspectives onto our own and try to be empathetic about every situation that we come by. And due to this, things like depression, anxiety are often overlooked. And this is a major problem, even though I'm talking about it in a way that's very formal, right? Or informal. We too often allow the existence of a more negative possibility to cloud our judgment about how negative a current situation is. Now, I'm not saying that you should always be reacting in a way that is sometimes unbefitting of yourself whenever something negative does happen. But if you truly feel like something negative has occurred, then it's not your responsibility to coddle those around you or even coddle your own mind and tell yourself that these situations are not worth your time. All right, guys, in today's vlog, what is he doing?